Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Popi, last week or 2 weeks back, she finished her third speech. Now this speech requirement, number 4, she is to select the right words and sentences structure to communicate her ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Number 2, she needs to use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize the ideas. Number 3, she has to eliminate jargon and unnecessary words, and she has to use correct grammar. The time is given 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck.
Madam Toastmaster, Popi.
At home, my dear sweet daughters, you have to come back at home from the party at 10 o'clock. Why, Mom? No. At work. Dear boss, would you please give me the opportunity to change my current position to another? In the bus, could you please take your Louis Vuitton bag away from my face? Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster.
Good evening.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Tonight, as you can understand, I'm going to talk about relationship difficulties. I will talk about 3 different relationships of our life. Firstly, daughters with mother. Secondly, employee and supervisor. And finally, among people in society. It is very difficult, fellow Toastmaster, to find a balance in the family, especially with your children when they are teenagers. The children think that they have grown up and can solve each problem by themselves. They also want to live the adult's life without the responsibility. My personal example is with my daughters when they were at the age of 16 years old. Both of them wanted to go to their friend's party. Each time it was a war at home, but I never gave up. Of course, all this happened some years ago. Now everything has changed. If you look at the statistics around the world, the youth's entertainment starts now after 11 p.m. That doesn't mean that in some families there are not rules about their children's night out. So, fellow Toastmaster, the family difficulties keep going. Now I will talk about job environment difficulties. There is no medicine to medicate the relationship of the workers in a job environment. Here people are above 18, but it doesn't say anything that their behavior would be different. In this environment, there are a lot of difficulties because everyone wants to have a better job opportunity, but mostly people want to use their position as an outlet for the personality problems. We can see managers or people who try to find to be in a management position, but their behavior can become arrogant towards other workers in a lower job position. This may occur that all these workers were suffered a lot by their manager when they were working at the same job position. My personal example is when I was working many years ago in a bank. I couldn't take another position because my manager was against this. His excuse was that if you are in a top position, you have to be very strict with no sensitivity. I think that my manager was badly treated when he was in my position, so he did the same to others workers. So, fellow Toastmasters, also difficulties are everywhere. Finally, I will talk about society difficulties. If we have difficulties in our family and in our job environment, then in society, what do we expect to face? I was working many years, and because sometimes I used to take public buses, I have seen bad manners. I remember one day I was on the bus, and one lady who was older came on, got into the bus. No one of the teenagers gave her a seat. Another lady started to argue with them. Immediately, one of the teenagers responded that he was more tired than this old lady, who may wanted to go somewhere for fun. Immediately, all the bus passengers were divided in two groups. One supported the lady, another one supported the teenagers. The bus driver stopped the bus, and he tried to appease the situation. So, fellow Toastmasters, also in society, the difficulties keep going on very well. Finally, I would like to say to all of you that it's very important to keep self-restraint in all our aspects of life. An aggressive person never will give justice, will give to him justice, because all the time he will do something which he will harm someone from his family or from his job environment. Let's, fellow Toastmasters, to try to make our world better by correcting our character and give a big hug to everyone who is with us, or may we meet him in the future. Back to you.
Juggling two things at the same time.